What is up, everybody? Welcome to stream. Hello. It has been a little bit of a while, but we have returned. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Welcome to stream, everybody. This is a call-in debate show where I get on my little high horse and tell you why conservatism, Christianity, and capitalism are all stupid as fuck. We have a couple of topics here today that I'd like to go over with you. Topic number 1, Trump's failed Iran deal. I can't make up how bad this deal was for him. Genuinely. I can't make it up. It's so bad. For him. It's great for Iran. The people of Iran clean the fuck up. For him, absolute dog shit. Topic number 2, systemic racism and white privilege are real. Topic number 3, Christianity is bullshit. Although if you do want to talk about Christianity being bullshit, tomorrow will be our entire atheism board with special guests Matt Dillahunty and Jeff from End of Species. So tune in tomorrow for that. Topic number 4, trans men and women are men and women. Topic number 5, gender affirming care for minors. And 6, I put conservative values suck, but I might change that one. Tomorrow's 11 a.m. The thing should already be on the YouTube. Should already be made. Those are our topics. You can call in at 219-327-8005. I'm going to tell you that number one more time. It's 219-327-8005 if you want to debate. I do have Pillow is with us screening today. Shout out to B. Renese Pie, Kulon Sioja, and Ramian B for being the first in Twitch chat today. And Chucky1044 for resubscribing for 2 months at tier 1. Shout out to you. Yeah, Trump took a massive fucking turd of a loss here with Iran. It might be the worst loss he's ever received. I'd be so honest with you. And so now the talking point from MAGA is like, yeah, we're sending Iran $300 billion. And yeah, they essentially get everything and we essentially receive nothing different from the JCPOA. Actually, it's worse than the JCPOA. But we're coming at it this time from a position of strength. That's what they're saying. So be prepared to hear MAGA use that line a lot. Well, it's a position of strength. It's a position of strength. So essentially, Iran gets everything that they wanted, and the U.S. pays. So W Iran, I guess. Can we get some? Can we, actually, don't W Iran in the chat. That might trigger the feds. We don't need the feds up here. TBH. But if you want to debate, 219-327-8005, that's the number. Call in, or we'll just chill today if nobody calls. No one ends up calling. We can switch to a gaming stream like 2 hours in, maybe. A loss for Trump, yeah. I need like a long form game that we can play every like couple of days on after stream, but I don't know what game I'd want to play long form. I heard mixtape's pretty good, but like I don't think it's that long. I already played Dispatch on stream. I didn't finish it on stream, but I did play it on stream. I gotta find out if the homies want to play this new fucking Fierce to Fathom game. New James Bond game. I'm not a big fan of shooters. Even over the top shooters sort of been losing it for me. Anyway, what should topic number 6 be changed to? This is no abortion. Abortion. Yeah, that works for me. All right, guys, call in, fams. Let's make this shit. Let's get this shit going. Boy, oh boy, howdy. How are you guys? How's your weekend? I did get somebody screen recorded a video of my talk, so I'm gonna upload that soon in case anybody wants to hear my talk from the Revival of Reason. Computer, make the conservatives not be scared. Conservatives have lost, like they're so scared to have like actual debates now. It's actually crazy. Anyway, I low-key want to buy a bicycle. Should I buy a bicycle? I don't have any money for a bicycle, but I kind of want to buy a bicycle. What do you guys think? Should I get a bike? What type of bike? Just a bike. Just one to ride. I like to ride my bicicleta. Get an e-bike? Who the hell got money for an e-bike? Y'all got e-bike money? You finna send me e-bike money, chat? I didn't think so. I don't know why I did that. Like, I could have an e-bike delivered here, but ain't nobody got $550 to buy an e-bike. Proof Jovan only reads the first part of my sentences. I didn't even read any of your sentence. Well, except for that one. Actually, if I want to e-bike that, like, is my size, that should be more like $600-700. You still do office hours? Yeah, my thing is, you can call with an office hours question. It's not guaranteed you're gonna get through. You can call at any point with an office hours question. You might even be put in the queue, but there's no guarantee I'm gonna take the call. That's the way I'd say it. Does that make sense? E-bike, but only if we get a slutty Christmas calendar is crazy. Wait, Jovan, I thought you were a rich communist. Yeah, so did I, honestly. Where's that George Soros money I was promised? Golly. Ayo, Foxes and Soxes, thank you for subscribing with Amazon Prime. I am on T-Bond. Lamont Bond? I think I said that wrong. Lamont. Thank you for subscribing for 8 months of tier 1. Meg, thank you for the 5 gifted subs over on Twitch. Yeah, where are my George Soros checks for this e-bike, bro? Is this going to be uploaded to the VOD channel later? Yeah, but I'm super behind on VOD videos. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm very behind on VOD videos, my B. They're all getting uploaded. I'm just behind. I think I'm going to turn the VOD channel into the video essay channel and then make another VOD channel. It's 3 channels. Three YouTubes. Yeah. Maybe. (219-327-8005). Listen, I want to talk to Christians. I want to talk to conservatives. I want to talk to capitalists. You're all terrible. You're all just the worst. You leftwards are just pathetic and losers. That's crazy because Trump has to pay Iran $325 billion. So who's actually losing? Seems like it's Trump. You're gonna get the new Fable game, probably. Imagine starting and losing a war. No, deadass. 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 I should put Chow over here. You love jihad terrorists. Well, I'm not paying around $300 billion. That would be Trump. Also, you know what else they get in the deal? They get to continue funding radical groups. It's literally in the deal that the US can't interfere with them funding radical groups. Kind of crazy, right? But that's your guy. That's you love your Twompy. You love Daddy Twump. Computer, meet me on my knees for Daddy Twump. Imagine starting losing war as the president of a country globally considered one of the strongest superpowers. The US actually very rarely wins wars. Are those billions the money we owed them before? 12 billion is money that's theirs that we're releasing to them 60 days prior. 12 billion is money to theirs that we're releasing to them 60 days post. 300 billion is war rebuild. Like it's like rebuild efforts because we destroyed a bunch of their infrastructure and they're charging us to fix all of it. And this guy wrote a book called Art of the Deal. Well, I mean, what's a better deal than, you know, pulling out of a previous established agreement that was better, right? Obama only gave around 1.8 billion, I think is how much they got out of the JCPOA. And that's if Israel doesn't bungle the deal, because Iran said for the deal, Iran folded in like a ceasefire on Lebanon, and Israel's kind of ignoring that. Jovan, not sure if you remember me, we spoke the other day about my college project, finally figured out my policy. Oh, sick. W for you. Why waste time with someone who's okay with murdering children, like Donald Trump was with killing all of those schoolgirls in Iran? TDS Clown Channel. Guys, please, if you're watching on YouTube, everyone at Scoville and ask why he's okay with paying around $325 billion. Any future tattoo plans? I don't know. Systemic does not mean laws put into place. So that would be systematic or institutional. But it's okay. English is hard. I know. Words are tough. I get it. The text of the deal hasn't been released, except Vance has literally said that 300 billion is a part of the deal. He said it literally like what, yesterday on live TV? Fucking A, bro. These people. Oh, we got big brain over here. ETMs and systemic racism. It's a racist system for the uneducated. That would be laws. Hey, dumb fuck. Stupid idiot. Laws aren't the only thing in the system, dummy. Dumb, big dumb brain. Why don't you just Google what the word systemic means, please? Goddamn. It would be so much easier if you just Googled what systemic means. Golly. I love when people comment dumb shit in the chat but are too afraid to call in. They could pick up their phone. They could dial 219-327-8005, but they don't because they're scared. Conservatives are dumb and cowardly. Correction. Conservatives, Christians, and capitalists are dumb and cowardly. Fixed it for you. Trying to have a conversation, stating my side, and you're bashing me. Yeah, I don't respect people in the comments. Yeah, if you want respect, call in. I don't respect comment warriors. Maybe I should make that one of the topics. Conservatives / Christians / capitalists have terrible ideals. Well, this country is founded on Christianity. So was the Constitution. Holy shit, bro. God damn. God damn. I'll just go back to that really fun document that says the United States is not a Christian nation. I'll go back to that. Wait, should I pull it up? Let's just pull it up. It'll just be quicker. It'll just be quicker. Y'all ever read the Treaty of Tripoli? 1797? Signed November 4th, 1796. Went into effect 1797, January 3rd. Ratified June 10th, 1797 by President Adams. Have we read the Treaty of Tripoli? Article 11, the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. Did we read? Is reading difficult for us today? Forgotten Dreamers, thank you for the super chat. Said, do you think every assassination attempt on Trump was staged by the Trump administration? I have no idea, dude. No, it says your freedom of religion, not freedom of religion. Homie can't read. God damn. That's embarrassing. Reading's not difficult. Did he say the Constitution was written based on the amendments? Or he said based on the 10 Commandments? That's even stupider. God damn. It's not even close when you look at like the Bill of Rights compared to the fucking 10 Commandments. They aren't even close. It's embarrassing that you live here and hate it so much, but won't leave. So pay for me to leave. Pay for my flight. Pay all of my moving expenses. Pay for my new citizenship to a new country, and I'll be gone. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Put your money where your mouth is. You want me gone so much, do it. Fucking cowards, bro. Anyway, America's not a Christian nation, never has been. Treaty of Tripoli. The government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. This was 1797. The country was 20 years old. We won't even get into the fact that most of the signers were fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Deists. They weren't Christians. They were deists. In fact, Thomas Jefferson directly rejected Christianity. That's why he wrote his own Bible that took all the mysticism out of Christianity. Because he rejected it. But I know. White privilege doesn't exist. Prove it. I bet people ask when I'm going to self-deport because I'm critical of it. Yeah, but remember, when Biden was in charge and they were doing the same shit, they were like, well, I don't have to leave. I'm just saying we should fix it. But when we do it, they're like, leave, get out. Like, bitch, shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Biden had a strip club in the White House lawn with guys making out. Why'd you watch it? Why are you watching it, ETM? Why was that on your fucking... How come you were watching that, brother? How come it was on your most recent watch list on YouTube? How come you favorited that shit, huh? How come you favorited it? Huh? Why was you watching it? He really said, computer, let me watch these guys be super gay and super horny. Damn, Jovan, been searching for a better fit for my belief system, and after Googling what a deist was, I think that's what fits best. I mean, it should be atheism, but you know. Why is MAGA so angry? Because they realized they got fleeced for the second time in a row. And they're mad about it. They're mad they allowed themselves to get fleeced for the second time in a row. Why is MAGA so angry and that it's their primary driving emotion? Oh, because they don't go to therapy. They hate their lives. They hate their families. They hate their wives. They hate their husbands. They hate their jobs. They hate their children. They hate most things about their life, and they don't want to admit that, like, it's okay to hate your life sometimes. MAGA loves a pedo. Oh shit, true. Visit Portland soon? Portland? So far away. I'd need a reason to. Like, I already have some travel I have to do for the remainder of the year. I gotta go to fucking, I might go to TwitchCon this year. I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely going to the Socialism Conference in Chicago later this year. I should get my hotel booked for that this month. That's the 4th through the 7th. I'm going to that one. Of September. Should have said that. Bro, it's crazy. Can anyone go to the socialism conference? Yeah, it's an open conference. You just gotta buy a ticket. It's mostly like an education thing. Like there's a bunch of panels and lectures and discussions and things like that. Yeah, I never said taxpayers were paying the $300 billion. I just said Iran is getting $300 billion. Okay, that's not bad. Wanted to see how much the hotel was going to be for the conference this year. Anyway, Kiki, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Ventos, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Looks like Christians, conservatives, and capitalists are all pretty scared to call. That's sort of been the theme. Go live in Cuba. Oh yeah, I'll just go live in the place that the US has been destroying for 70 years. That makes sense. Jovan, can you give us an ooh to lift our spirits? Can you give me $20? These oohs don't come cheap, bro. Rule 1 of streaming oohs are not cheap. Deadass. Yo, Amanda, thank you for the Venmo. Said, how many maggots to change a light bulb? None. Trump tells them he fixed it. They sit in the dark and clap. Oh, shit. I just gotta do a stream that every half hour the points get a little more MAGA angering. No, deadass. How about abortion 30 years? Abortion all 30 years. Would you do... I don't know what that is. I don't want to say it either. What is that? Our president's fucking 80, bro. Can you believe that shit? He doesn't look a day over 90. Deadass. Can we change the law and vote Mamdani to be president? No, no. Wouldn't that be helpful though? Mamdanistan. Do you like Mamdani? He's chill. Haven't seen any real reasons to be against him. It would be really, it's the idea that they're gonna get the third term thing is really, like, that's gonna be really challenging. Let me just put it that way. There are reason explained videos on super points have fallen out of the YouTube meta. Like, this is what's, huh? I don't understand the question. We have some call screening right now. Amanda, thank you for the Venmo, said, what superpower would you want to have and why? Teleportation. Because of the obvious. Travel time sucks. Bro, if I could just, and I'm there, it's not even it's not even a question. That would be what I choose. I would be the highest rated Uber Eats driver of all time, bro. You'd have your food instantly at pickup. No, see, I hate that. I hate when people do that. When you're like, what's a super, and you're like, well, I would do reality warping. Lame. That's such a cop-out answer. Yeah, I'll just become a god. Obvious. Come on. Give a real answer. What if it's like The Boys where you lose all your clothes while teleporting? No, I would want it to be that anything I'm touching I can take with me. No, because you got to think flying wouldn't be fun, because if you only have flying, it would suck. That's the problem, is like if you're only given one superpower, every superhero has more than one power. So if you're just given flying, you're only going to be able to fly as fast as you can run. You're going to get tired, which means you're going to fall out of the sky when you hit your about as far as you can jog. You're going to be freezing half the time. Shrek 5 trailer dropped. No, it didn't. Did it really? Because we about to watch that shit. Oh shit. Y'all want to watch the trailer for Shrek 5? Hell yeah, you do. Hell yeah, we do, right? Hell yeah, we do. What the fuck? Hell yeah, we want to watch the trailer for Shrek 5. Hold on, let's watch the trailer for Shrek 5. You goddamn right we do. What the fuck? Let's peep the Shrek 5 trailer. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds. This shit gonna be dookie. This is gonna be bad, right? Ew! Ew! Yo, why they look like this? 2 ass jokes. Oh, that looks bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. It doesn't even look like Shrek. Wait, we have to look at this again. We have to watch this again. What the fuck was this? And the cast sounds old. Well, I mean, they are older. Like, I'm fine with the cast sounding old if time in the universe has moved forward. Shrek has 3 like adult children, so I'm fine with them all sounding older. I just don't like that he looks like this. This is not Shrek. This is Shrunk. The Disneyfication of Shrek pisses me off right here. Donkey especially. Why does he look like this? This is bad. If you're gonna do this, reboot it. You know what my issue is? In the new Puss in Boots, the one that we all love, right? The Last Wish. Like, it still looks in universe. It still looks like in the same universe as Shrek. What is this? This is the new Puss in Boots doesn't fit in this universe, but he would have fit in the regular Shrek universe. What is happening? Like, this Puss in Boots still fits in with old Shrek. He does not fit in with new Shrek. Well, maybe he does fit in with new Shrek. This makes sense. This don't make sense. Oh, this. What is this? This is what we've been reduced to, dude. This is what we've been reduced to. Brother, this is where we're at now. This is America going into 2026, 2027. I thought when they cooked with this, I'm gonna be so through with you. When they cooked with this film right here, I thought they were back. I was like, you know what? I'll fuck with a new Shrek movie because y'all cooked so hard with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. You cooked so hard with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that I was ready for a new Shrek movie. I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with y'all. I would have rather AI Shrek than this. I would rather AI Shrek than whatever the fuck this is. Bad. And why does Donkey say the stalwart adventure line 3 times in this trailer? Ugh, why can't we just look like why? But this movie was so good. Look at Pillow. I like how you're like, I grew up on DreamWorks. Like we all didn't grow up on DreamWorks. Like what? What does that even mean? I'm annoyed. I'm low key real annoyed at the Shrek shit. Wow. Jovan, did you catch the 48 hours reference? I'm good. Disney wishes they had the quality of DreamWorks and Pixar. I mean, Encanto is like the best thing Disney's put out in years. Yo, I keep seeing this merch shit for the new Moana, and I want to fucking blow my brains out. I hate this new Moana, this live action Moana more than I like. Maybe that should be a new video essay. Shit, I think I just thought of a new idea. I should talk about how much I hate the live action Disney movies and how much of a capitalist nightmare they are, and base it around how much I hate this new Moana movie more with like a burning passion. Like, I hate it. Like, if I had a one wish Willow, it would be that whoever greenlit live action Moana had diarrhea. I would want to give whoever greenlit live action Moana diarrhea. It looks so stupid. Here, look. We'll look at it, but I'm keeping the sound off because I don't want to get copyright from Disney. Look at this dumb fucking shit. This is so uninspired. I hate it. This is quite literally everything that is wrong with Hollywood boiled down into one image is this right here. Now, if Disney was just like, hey, we're just doing a little live action thing. It's like a little short. We're doing a short live action. Like, it's a little short. And we're using live action Moana. I could be a little more, okay. But it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. He looks terrible. The Rock looks like dog shit in this movie. It looks like dog shit. This whole movie looks stupid. What's worse, live action Moana or live action Lilo and Stitch? Oh my God, I both? Have you seen the toys? The merch for live action Moana is even worse. Look at this. Ugh. I don't want it to show you. Wait, I need to do this in like a private browser. I really should be using a private browser for whenever I'm streaming, but whatever. How do you open incognito mode on Google again? Oh, here it is. Look at this shit, dude. Okay, hold on. Trying to find it. Look at this ugly ass toy right here. Brother. This is really what we're doing? Look at this. Don't show me this little girl playing with this toy like she's enjoying herself. Fuck you. This is cursed. If you bought this for your child, you're a bad parent. I'm about to make this my profile picture on all fucking platforms. Is this? No, it's because the live action Disney movies are completely uninspired. They have nothing to say. They're just money machines. They're just there to make Disney more money. What's the budget on live action Moana? $200 million. They're gonna make that back. They're gonna make fucking buckets of money. So stupid, dude. That's capitalism. That's capitalism, by the way. Nah, I ain't doing this, homie. Either call in or shut the fuck up. You're always chirping in the comments. Goodbye. I'm not doing the chirping. Pick up the phone or shut the fuck up. Like, literally, like, almost every Disney movie that's come out recently has been really bad. Elio was meh. Hoppers was great, but Hoppers was, I wouldn't call Hoppers an original story, right? Hoppers is quite literally just Avatar. I've actually heard Toy Story 5 is pretty good. Early reviews are saying Toy Story 5 is pretty good. I never doubted them. I like Toy Story 4 a lot. I think they always cook with Toy Story. Elio was bleh. Moana 2 was trash. Inside Out 2 is good, but that's a sequel. Wish is very rough. Elemental is pretty good. Elemental is pretty good. Would I call Elemental original? Yeah. I mean, it's original IP. But yeah, Elemental's a bit more original, right? Can't believe we're getting a Frozen 3 and a Frozen 4. Zootopia 2 was a sequel, but it was okay. It was pretty good. Mufasa was terrible. Luca was good. Turning Red was good. Soul, I'm not a big fan of Soul. Strange World, I got very bored of very fast. Lightyear was bad. Encanto was phenomenal. Raya and the Last Dragon put me to sleep. Onward was meh. Frozen 2, I think, is pretty bad. Lion King is one of the worst movies they've ever released ever. Ralph Breaks the Internet was boring. Mary Poppins Returns was stupid. Incredibles 2 wasn't great. Coco was great. Cars 3 was better than Cars 2, not better than Cars 1. Moana was great. Finding Dory was okay. Zootopia was great. I like Good Dinosaur, but again, it's not the greatest film. Inside Out, great. Big Hero 6 sucks. And I'll defend that take forever. Yeah, Frozen 2 is a mess. And Frozen 2 is a mess. It's a mess of a story. None of the characters act like themselves. They literally, quite literally, all of them act. The only character that really acts the same is probably Anna. Big Hero 6 is not. I love a movie that telegraphs its ending in the first fucking 20 minutes. Love that. Oh, man. Who's the villain? Could it be this guy who very clearly is acting like a evil corporate guy? Or Could it be the obvious twist villain that's going to be my mentor, who's going to obviously turn out to be the twist villain? Wow. Amazing. Dumb as fuck. Hoppers wasn't low-key. Hoppers was great. Hoppers was fucking hilarious. That wasn't the point. Yeah, it was. The twist of the movie is the big point of that film. They make a real big deal about the twist of that movie. If you have a movie in which there is a mystery and you have characters trying to figure out that mystery and you don't tell the audience, then the twist is a big deal. It'd be one thing if the audience knew at the beginning of the movie who was the bad guy, because then it's not about the twist. It's about the way the characters interpret the twist. But that's not what happened. That's not how the movie works. I gotta... It's a Disney movie. No one is expecting amazing story writing. Then I don't... Why wouldn't you? I hate that take. I expect decent, competent writing from a movie. Yes, if you have a film that's getting hundreds of millions of dollars put behind it to make, yes, I expect competent writing. Yeah. Do you know about the Disney trading card game? What, the La Corna or whatever? I see people doing that shit all the time at when I'm at like Magic Kingdom and shit. Hoppers was about how we should all tolerate Gavin Newsom. Is so fucking funny. That is the funniest comment I've read all fucking day. And it's low key. So accurate. That's so good. W comment right there. Think Big Hero 6 is more remembered by the wholesome Baymax and the writing credit. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is no, what happens is people watch it as a kid. I watched Big Hero 6 as an adult. I bet if I had watched Big Hero 6 as a kid, I would have loved it. Because I'm not sitting there going like, oh, what? I wouldn't have seen the twist coming a mile away because it would be new to me. That type of twist would be new. But when you're an adult and that story has been told over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I hope I get a Switch 2 on my birthday. God, where is my Switch 2? I can't wait for the Kingdom Hearts collection to come to Switch 2, because that's how I'm going to be playing that shit from now on. How do you feel about the new Fable game? No thoughts whatsoever on it. Then it isn't a shit movie you've changed. No, it's a bad movie because it's lazy. It doesn't start out lazy. It has balls. Big Hero 6 in the beginning has balls. It kills off the big character's brother almost immediately, and you have to watch as this main character actually deals with that. And then it focuses way too much on the mystery and the fucking twist, and it pisses me off. Then they have a fake out death. I hate the Disney fake out death. You know what? I don't even call it Disney. I hate fake out deaths in children's media. They piss me off. I don't think it's ever done right. A fake out death is bullshit. It is just a way to try to emotionally manipulate the audience. And what's weird about it is you don't need that because we have a real death in the movie. Ain't none of us watching this like, I bet they're gonna actually kill Baymax. No, we know you're not. But we had a real death. I saw, so like, let us, like, and I get it. The point of the fake out death is to make Tadashi, or Tadashi the hero. To make Hiro deal with his grief of Tadashi. I get it. But it's still manipulative as fuck. I'm not sad because Baymax is dying. The Iron Giant had a pretty good fake out death. Well, I would say the Iron Giant's works because that's like post credits, right? Like that happens at the, well, not post credits, because it happens at the very end. The characters don't know that the Iron Giant is alive. So sort of their emotional feelings sort of still hold. Like Hogarth doesn't know that the Iron Giant is dead. I have perfect media takes. The resurrection is the very first fake out death. Yeah. Death of Superman's also a bit annoying, all iterations. Yeah, I don't need to watch Superman die anymore in media, bro, just for him to come back. Somehow Jesus returned. Bro, it's not a rule in chat anymore, but y'all just stop debating. This is why these people won't call in. We don't make it a rule anymore. Did you watch the Backrooms movie? Yeah, it was great. 8 out of 10. It was higher until I saw Obsession. And then I was like, I can't, even though I like Backrooms more, I can't put Backrooms at a higher grade than Obsession. Obsession is very clearly a better film. Even though I think I like Backrooms more just because I like the Backrooms as a concept more. They don't call in no more. It's just been a slow couple of days for calls. This happens sometimes. Like I said, it's not a rule anymore. You guys can debate people in chat. I'm just letting you know when you do, they don't call in because they're getting what they want, which is a debate. You're giving them the attention they want. I say this constantly, and then chat ignores me on it, and he's like, "Why won't people call in?" And I'm like, "Because of you." I don't know what to tell you, chat. Yeah, I also have to get back into the algorithm because I haven't been streaming in a few days. Backrooms being an 8 out of 10 is the most fair I've seen. Honestly, maybe 9. Like, I don't think you guys realize how well I think Backrooms is made. I just think Obsession is made slightly better. Yeah, I think Backrooms is made brilliantly. I just think Obsession just irks it out. You fan of Godzilla movies? Yeah, I fuck with Godzilla. Yeah, we've been streaming for 78 minutes. We haven't had an op call, so. Well, that's how long the call-in screener has been on. I've seen most modern Godzilla movies, yeah. I'm stoked for Supergirl. Yeah, looks good. Siobhan, what's your fave Godzilla? Probably Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla to me is the most interesting Godzilla's ever been. Or the anime where Godzilla's a planet. That one's cool too. -1 is good. Have you seen the new episode of Superman? I've only watched the first. If there's been another episode drop, I haven't seen it yet. Are you excited for Godzilla -0? I don't know that I want another story in that world. I think Godzilla -1 was perfect. I need to see what it's like. Has someone called? No, they're afraid. I might try next stream to just do a singular topic board and see how that does. But predominantly, they're afraid to call in. Thoughts on the MCU? It's fine. Haven't really been excited for an MCU movie in a while. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man. Oh yeah, next solo stream. Tomorrow's the dual stream with Matt and Jeff. We should get some calls for that one. All right, Ludwig, you're in timeout. Either call in or shut the fuck up. Jovan, please add back abolish police. No, because you guys don't watch those videos. There are certain topics you guys just don't care about. So, like... Are you reading Absolute Batman? No. I haven't had the time to read comics in a long time. Also, y'all gotta like the live. I don't know why you're not liking the live, y'all. Did you like Tron Legacy? No. Should I eat this powdered donut while I'm wearing all black? Have you seen Iron Lung? Yeah, I gave it like a 6. Okay, guys. You know what? I don't think anybody is trying to purposely drive me crazy. But when I say you guys don't watch the video and you respond with, yeah, but I do. Like, okay. But those videos don't get consistent views. So they're not videos I'm going to like prioritize. Like, they're not topics I'm going to prioritize when those topics don't get consistent views. You know what I mean? Either convince other people to call or I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Katie's going to be back before the end of the month. We're going to do a pride board. Gone are the days we get debates for the love of the game. You still do, but like, I gotta be realistic here. Did that Neutron ever come out? I don't even remember. I've seen From, it's pretty good. Best Pop-Tart flavor, strawberry. Did you watch Amazing Digital Circus? Yeah, but I haven't seen the ending yet because it's not out yet. I mean, it's out in theaters, but I'm not going to the theaters to watch Amazing Digital Circus. Like, no. Pillow, do you mean Shang-Chi? There ain't no way you just type that shit Chang-Chi. There's no way. Jovan, what's your favorite anime? I'm gonna keep it $1.50. Witch Hat Atelier go hard as fuck. And I'm locked into that right now. The ending is bad for the Amazing Digital Circus? I doubt it. I know that the internet's all pissed off if they do the Soma thing. That's the only thing I think they should do. I actually think doing any other ending would be stupid as hell. If they did anything but the Soma ending, I will be angry. What's your current game? Cookie Clicker. No, I heard nothing but good things about Witch Hat, so I decided to watch it on my flight. Banger. I finished like where I got all caught up in like one day. It's just a banger. I forgot how Soma ends. Soma ends. Spoilers if you haven't played Soma. The dude's the guy's not like in a simulation with glasses. His consciousness was uploaded to a thing, so he can never get back to his original home. So that's the ending. A bunch of people are like, well, I wonder if this is the Amazing Digital Circus. Obviously, the only thing that makes sense when you watch the show. Any other ending would not make any sense. And I'm fine with that because the show is based, well, it's based around a lot of stuff that I like, but yeah. I heard MAGA only go on Jubilee now. Crazy. MAGA always loses? True. Hey, I see Kona is calling. Remember, Kona owes me $50. Pillow, pick that phone back up. Kona owes $50 for wasting my time, or he's never calling in again. So pick that phone back up and let Kona know. Unless he pays me my $50, he ain't getting through. Shouldn't have wasted my damn time. Yeah, he owed me 25, but then he kept wasting my time, so now he owes me 50. You want to waste my time? I'm going to charge you. Think I play this shit, homie? My time is way more valuable. You won't hear from Conan no more? No, because he's poor. Like, let's just keep it about 50. He a broke boy. Kona grew up without a mother? True. Anyway. Where the callers at, dude? Honestly, just play the Simpsons game while we chill? No, for real. I think I'll start like pulling up some more reaction content for these slow days. And we can like watch shit together. I'm just not watching Jubilee. Don't ask me to watch Jubilee. Reacting to Shrek was fun. Fun for who? Thoughts on Don to Don? Love it. It's fire. Let's watch the Ancient Alien series, brother. Brother. Can't watch the Necessary Conversation anymore. I just really don't like their dad, bro. This is how I know Kona has no friends, because he's trying to call in again. Jovan, when are you going to read Dungeon Crawler Carl? Probably. I don't have time, dude. Like, I'm trying to get through Richard Wolff's books right now. Like, when am I going to have time? All right, we finally got a call. Thank God. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Coming up to stream is Connor calling to talk about topic number 3, Christianity being bullshit. Connor, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
28, he, him.
All right. Cool. Now, Connor, are you Christian?
I am.
Okay. No problem. Now, Connor, I definitely think Christianity is bullshit on pretty much every sector. Do you disagree?
I think I disagree at its core. But to kind of give you just a quick little background, no, I don't want to rant. That's my quick answer. No, I disagree with that.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, we can take it on any factor you want. I think Christianity is bullshit when it comes to history. I think it's bullshit when it comes to morality. I think it's bullshit when it comes to mysticism. I think it's bullshit when it comes to like basic facts. I think Christianity is bullshit in pretty much every direction we could take this call.
Yeah, fair. Did you have a specific place you want to start, or did you want me to kind of give a position?
We start wherever you think you have the best argument.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching your stream for a while. I on the board, really the only thing I fully disagreed with, not even fully, but was number three. I grew up in the faith. I'm a pretty strong Christian, I would say, still today, but it's my faith has shifted a lot over the years, and especially as an adult who is still a practicing Christian. I'm a pretty far leftist, so I agree with. I mean, I'm LGBTQ affirming. There's not a single, like, I would say, politically conservative thing about me anymore. And so I agree with pretty much everything you say. And even like how we view the Bible today, I think Western or American Christianity, I guess, we've gotten really far off base from how it started. And so I believe the Bible is not like a univocal, inerrant, or infallible text. It's a collection of, a library of writings, I guess. So the way I see the Old Testament is kind of like God's first people trying to figure it out, and they got a lot of it wrong. I think the Bible definitely advocates for slavery. I've not heard a good argument that says the Bible is like at any point condemns slavery. And that's just one example of kind of all the problems that I see in the Old Testament. And I think a lot of the stories that today are taken as historical, like the flood, Jonah and the big fish, stuff like that, is all metaphorical, or at least it's just more of like to tell a story about.
How do you know what parts of the Bible
Sorry.
that are actually real if half the Bible is metaphor and half is not? How do we know which parts of the Bible are not metaphor?
Yeah, I mean, great question. It's honestly something I'm still like working through myself. I don't think there's any way to like unequivocally prove one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like you just, it's something that scholars and believers and non-believers too have been arguing for like 2,000 years plus. There's really no way to fully know. So you kind of have to, the way I see, like I try to view everything through a Christological lens, which is through the love of Jesus, that is described how Jesus describes it through the four Gospels.
Yeah, but if I don't know how do I
Which I
know that
can,
what they're describing is accurate?
yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying. I really hate apologetics. Like I don't, especially like the people who call into your show or that I see anywhere else. Like there's, like if anybody could prove God, nobody would be an atheist. So like I don't think it makes any
But
sense.
It's not even about proving God now, because now we're talking about something that we're saying is a
Yeah,
historical thing that happened. It's about proving
yeah,
Jesus, right? You believe Jesus died on the cross. You believe Jesus
hmm
was buried in a tomb. You believe he rose from the dead. You believe he exited that tomb. You believe all of these things have
hmm
happened, but we have no evidence for most of these claims. We actually have more
sure,
evidence pointing away from those claims.
yeah, yeah. So I guess sorry, repeat the question then in that.
Uh, well, the question is just why would I, if there's no evidence pointing towards the truth of these claims, why would I believe them?
Sure. I mean, like for me, like I said, a big part of it is like I grew up in the tradition, in the faith, and like I'm not going to pretend like that's not a big part of it. Like there's a very good chance that if I grew up outside of that, a different country, different type of family, whatever, like I wouldn't believe like as an adult. And so like I kind of have to just take it on like I just have to take it on faith that I was kind of raised the way I was, where I was at a certain time with the family that I
If you
had, and
recognize that there's no
um
reason to believe in this thing except for faith, why believe in it?
yeah, I mean, I think it's anecdotal, which I know is not like evidence, so I'm not going to present it as that. But like I've seen just God work in my life, and there are so many questions I'm still going to have by the time my life is over that like there's just no way I'm going to be able to answer them all on earth. And I the best I can do is just like love people the way Jesus told me to love, which uh, like I said is kind of the lens that I look at everything through.
Yeah, so I
Which
think
I understand is not like
my
really an answer to your question.
yeah, I guess my issue with this is it's just sort of like, yes, the Bible is BS, but I believe it anyway. Which if we're debating,
Yeah, no,
there's no real debate there.
sure. No, I get that. Maybe I didn't like explain it properly. I don't think the Bible is BS. I just think like a lot of it is not literal or meant to be taken as like historical fact. And it's also very important, especially in the Old Testament and some things in the New Testament, to interpret the things that are like not great, which is like the genocide, the slavery, all of that stuff, through like an imperfect human lens. Like these are imperfect people who wrote the Bible, and like there's just a good chance they got things wrong. And I think we see Jesus's ministry as him coming to earth to correct everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I think that's, if we don't know what is accurate, there's no way for me to describe it except for BS, right? You don't know that what Jesus said has been accurately recorded because he has no contemporary authors. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't even really know that Jesus was a real figure in history. Even that is the evidence for is entirely flimsy. You have at most the writings of Josephus and Tacitus, and those are in no way, shape, or form uh uh like verifying that he actually existed. They more talk about the myth. So again, I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
that when it comes to the whether the Bible is bullshit, if I have to just trust that it's true, I'm not going to just believe that. What would make the Bible more true than the Book of Mormon or the Quran or any other religious text? Using that like line of thinking.
Yeah, no, fair question. Like I said, I'm still kind of working through that myself. I don't, mythicism, the belief that like Jesus was not even a real historical figure, is a pretty fringe theory. Like I know that I've heard you say you're agnostic on that. And so,
I think it is much more
I
probable
would,
that Jesus didn't exist than he did. I am fine conceding that he existed for the debate. The evidence that is used to prove Jesus' existence is from Josephus and Tacitus. That's like it.
yeah,
There's two pieces of evidence that are used to prove Jesus existed, and collectively, those make up about 50 words. I don't know how we can say that. Like, I don't think it's that fringe to say Jesus probably didn't existed. What I think is uh tends to happen is that like people tend to take the gospels as like in Paul's letters as like, well, this is proof Jesus was real. So we're using this, even though it's not. It's a claim.
hmm hmm
The only
yeah,
the
no,
only
yeah,
real evidence I would take is well, honestly, I would take anything contemporary at this point, but that doesn't exist.
mhm. Yeah, no, that's not, like I don't have an answer for that. It is interesting that there isn't like a lot of contemporary, or not a lot, but like no contemporary, other authors or writers or like sources for Jesus. But I do, kind of one thing that stops me, and I don't have an answer for this fully either, but like there is so much that came out of Jesus, and his, if you are conceding that Jesus was a real historical figure and did the things that he claimed to do and that the Bible claims he did, that it's hard. Like I guess like just me personally, and I'm open to like your thoughts and explanation here, but like how did we get all of Christianity, I guess, to put it all in like just a very reductive nutshell? How did we get all of that from a historical figure who might not even be historical? You know what I mean? Like I'm
Do you believe
open-minded there,
Muhammad
and I'm
was
curious
a
to hear your
prophet?
thoughts. I believe he was a real person.
But do you believe he was a prophet?
What do you mean by like meaning that like the things
Was
that
he
he said
divine?
were like from God?
Was he divine?
I wouldn't personally believe that, no, but I haven't done like a ton
Then
of
the
research into
well,
Islam
then
beyond
the
a
answer
couple
is the
classes I did
same.
in college.
If you're gonna say, well, like, how do we get all of this if Jesus wasn't resurrected, didn't do these miracles? My answer would be the same way we got it with Islam, the same way we got it with quite literally any religion that bases their religion off of a singular figure. People are mythicized.
Sure.
Jesus was mythicized.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. That makes sense. I think that I don't think Muhammad made a claim that he was divine. I think that he made claims that he was speaking for God, but like speaking for God does
That's
not
divinity.
inherently make you divine.
That speaking for God is part of divinity. Yeah.
I guess, what do you mean by divinity? Like, could you define that?
I would just say divinity as in like given special powers from God or given some type of special meaning from God.
I gotcha. That's a fair That's a fair characterization. I would disagree with that definition a little bit, because I think to say that something or somebody is divine or has divinity means, like, the claim there is that you are of God or from God more directly than that. So I would just I wouldn't have much to debate there, because I don't think we're going to agree like fully on that definition of that word.
But the point still stands. I mean, I feel like the point wasn't really addressed here. The point still stands that,
Sure.
like, if Muhammad is a prophet, but you don't believe that he did any of these miracles that it is claimed that Muhammad did, then the answer to your question is the way Christianity got to where it is the same way Islam did. They're just
Yeah. No, that's fair.
religions.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. And like I'll go back, just I was raised in this tradition. It's a big, like, has been a big part of who I am. I'm still working through a lot of it, and so
But that's
still a
just
lot I'm
it.
trying to
You
learn.
recognize that, like, the real reason you believe in this is just because you were raised in it. But there's no real reason, like,
Well,
there's no real reason to believe in Christianity unless it's just like, well, I'm kind of afraid of what'll happen after I die. That's like kind of it.
yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, like I said, it's also like anecdotal for me. Like, I've seen it work a lot in my life. God's work in my life, beyond just like my tradition, or just because like I go to church every Sunday or whatever. Like, there's a lot that I've kind of gone through, and I personally believe that God has brought me through and is continuing to do so. But that's just me. I know it's anecdotal. I'm not trying to use that as like evidence to try to convince you or anything. But
Yeah,
in
it's
in an attempt to
fully.
answer what you're saying.
There's no way to verify any of these things as being miracles or divine. Like, when people are like, "Well, I had a miracle happen to me," or something divine happened to me from God. Like, there's no way to verify
Hmm.
this. So it's just sort of,
Yeah, yeah,
we can't anchor it to anything. So it's not evidence. There's no evidence here. Like, right? Like,
yeah. No,
if
that's
I'm
fair.
tripping on shrooms and I go to tell you, like, "Oh yeah, I saw a giant space lobster who controls everything. You need to believe in that space lobster or you're going to go to space lobster hell." You wouldn't have any reason to believe that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, yeah, no, that's true. Like, I would call bullshit on that. I would say, well, you're just on drugs. And yeah, no, I guess I should maybe clarify, because I don't know if maybe I didn't present this as clear as I could, but I don't think I've had like miracles in my life necessarily. I'm just saying, like, in my over the course of my pretty young life so far, I've like seen how God has I believe orchestrated things throughout my life to get me to where I am today.
But what's your proof that
But
God
there's
did
a
that?
lot I still don't know. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's faith. That's faith.
Yeah, but okay, so, like, when I say Christianity is bullshit, a part of that is when claims are made that, like, well, God did this for me, but I have no way to prove God did this to me. I just want to believe God did this for me. Typically, it's just because you want to feel better about your religious beliefs. If you were not
Sure.
Christian, you wouldn't go to the thought process of, well, God did this for me. You wouldn't even go there. But you
Yeah.
already had the faith, so you were already going there because you were already indoctrinated from a young age into the faith.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. No, I mean, I can't refute any of that. Like, I will never try to convince anyone that I have evidence for it, or that my personal anecdotes, my personal life, whatever, is evidence. Like, that would that would be fucking stupid. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to like I said, I've been watching you for a while, and I'm a big fan of what you do. I've learned a lot about trans stuff and gender affirming care, basically everything on your board. Like I said, I agree with. And this, we're just kind of curious to hear your thoughts. And yeah, just say that anybody who tries to convince you, or to say they have evidence for God that they can prove it, is just full of shit, because you can't prove something like that.
Yep.
Well, good deal. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. You too.
Feel like that didn't go much of anywhere, but that's okay. That is okay. Feel like it didn't go much of anywhere on that one, but that's fine. Um, Anyway, if anybody else wants to call in, call line's open now. We have some call screening right now, so we'll see what happens. And then we'll keep it cooking. I see the person in chat who keeps talking about the debate I had with Elijah months ago, where Elijah continuously used flawed analogies for things I wasn't claiming. It's very funny. Very funny. You even hear me in the video go, yeah, if I have to answer this question, it's going to be a flawed answer to your question because the analogy is flawed to what I'm trying to talk about. It's always hilarious to me when they do that because they have to. How do office hours calls work? You just call in, and if I'm in the mood to take the call, I will, and if I'm not, I won't. That's kind of how office hours go, basically. Here, I'll even walk you through chat how the analogy was stupid. So the claim that I make consistently, and that I think is consistently shown over here, is we have no evidence of the universe having a beginning, right? We have evidence that our observable universe currently has a beginning, but we have no evidence that it was a beginning to the universe and that there was like absolutely nothing and then something and then whatever. And so my claim would also be related to that. We have no evidence of a beginning of energy. Energy could have just always existed. It could just be a foundational property of existence, is that there has always been energy. So when I'm asked a question like, well, if you infinitely plug, if I'm remembering it correctly, if you infinitely plug chargers into a thing, will they ever be powered? Well, that's kind of flawed, right? Because the analogy would be that the correct analogy in what I'm saying would be that all of those things have always had power and always will have power. So if I plug it into the previous powered thing, it's going to previously power the next and 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 the next, because there is no evidence for a start. We have no evidence of that. And so Christians theists literally love to be like, oh, well, but where's what annoys me, it's so stupid, is it all just foundationally reduces down to God of the gaps. And they're always like, no, it's not God of the gaps. I'm like, yeah, at its core it is. You don't know how this thing works, so you just say it's God. There was another really stupid one he said too, and I kept saying like, yeah, this is a flawed analogy, so you're gonna get a flawed answer to the question. Like, yeah, if you ask a flawed question, that flawed question is gonna get a flawed answer. But at the end of the day, most Christians do this because they don't want to actually defend the Bible, because they can't. You can even go back in the video. I literally say, he's like, oh, if I plug my phone into a thing, will it try? I'm like, no, because there's no infinite power in this analogy that you're giving. My argument is that energy could have always existed and be infinite. That's the argument. So when you're talking about like other thing, like that's not related to the argument I'm making. So it's very funny to me to watch people who like, this is what I'm talking about when you talk to Phil Bros, right? When you talk to Phil Bros, who they have a script. And so when I'm saying, listen, I would, as Blitz would say, energy isn't a thing, it's a number. Yeah. Oh, I would love to see these people try to call into Blitz. It was like an actual fucking... But this is the problem. This is what they do. Incels and Phil Bros overlap probably quite a bit. No, but Phil Bros have what we call Phil Hoes, which are people who are really impressed by like base level understanding of philosophy. This is why even if you go back and watch this video, I asked specifically if I go back, I don't even know where the video is posted. I don't know what Elisha's channel is, but if I'm pretty sure I even asked him like to because that's the thing is if you're going to claim that infinity cannot exist, you have to show that in some relevant way. In infinity, I think people tend to think that when I say infinity, when I say like the universe is infinite, I don't mean it goes on forever. I mean, it's always existed. I mean, like, kind of dumb. Anyway, 219-327-8005. We'll see if we get a, we'll see if we get a, call anytime soon. Oh wait, looks like we got one. Okay. All right, coming up to stream is Conrad calling from Washington. Conrad to talk about topic number 4, trans men and women being men and women. Conrad, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I'm here. I can hear you. My name is... My age is 40, and I don't do pronouns, so you can just roll with whatever you're comfortable with, but I think it's pretty obvious what I am.
What do you mean you don't? Well, wait, either you do them or you don't do them. If you have them, then you do them.
Not grammatically. Yeah. Not grammatically speaking. If
What
you
does
were
that
to
mean,
talk to
not
someone
grammatically
else,
speaking?
None. I'm not saying I don't do them grammatically speaking. Of course, I use pronouns.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
then
it
what are
means
they?
something else socially.
If you use them, what ones do you use?
Those are for when you're talking to someone else about me. So you're never going to call me that, right?
Wait. Might it be when other people are talking about you as well, outside of me and you? Could there potentially be 700 people on YouTube and 300 people on Twitch watching this right now who are going to talk about you in the comment section? Could they potentially refer to you using pronouns? So what would they use?
There
what
are 1,000 people that know exactly what they are.
What pronouns would that chat? I didn't ask you, right? What those? I asked you a very specific question that you seem to not be able to answer.
What a waste of time. Okay.
Yes, you
yeah.
are wasting my time. You've wasted 1 minute and 30 seconds of my time by showing
Nah,
me that you
man,
can't
you don't need to
answer
know my pronouns.
a good faith question. What you showed me
You
is that
knew.
you
You knew
can't
what my
answer questions.
pronouns were.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You were asked a question, so either you can engage
You
in the
have my.
questions in good
Everyone has.
faith. Either Conrad, you can
Everyone
engage
has
in the
my
question.
permission to
Conrad,
assume.
either you can engage in the question in good faith, or you show me at the start that you're not able and capable to have a good faith conversation. Because you couldn't just answer a simple question. You had to cry about it for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
No, there's a statement to not answering that question. It's a social issue.
No, there's not. No, there's not. There's just you being a baby about it.
No, it's a social issue. You know
No,
that
it's just you being a baby
Yeah,
about it. There
everyone-
are pronouns that you have.
everyone
There are
including you.
pronouns that everybody uses
Yeah.
for you in your daily life. You know for a fact, if every single person you bumped into called you a woman and called you a she, you would get annoyed by it because you prefer that they call you the pronouns that you're used to and that you like to be called, which would be he, him. So no, there's not a statement about it. You have preferred pronouns. Just don't be a baby about it and just answer
Everyone
the
has
question that's
permission
asked you.
to assume my
It's
pronouns.
super simple. It's super
Everyone
simple.
has permission.
Well, you already told us what they are, so they don't have to assume.
I gotta take it back.
Like, I don't know what the point of being a child about it is. It's a very simple question that you could answer in 2 seconds.
Right. But it's a statement to not answer it. That's
There's
the
no
point is.
the statement. When you don't answer, you prove to me that you are going to be bad faith in this conversation. So we'll see. But
I'm not going to,
already you have colored the conversation because you outwardly refuse the second question asked of you. So you've already colored the conversation.
I will wear
hope you know that.
I'll wear it. Yes, I gotcha. I understand.
Now, Conrad, I believe trans men and women are men and women. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
I disagree. If they were, then we would just call them men or women. A trans
What's the second word in trans
female woman.
Okay, so we do call them women.
No, the noun is incorrect, though.
Well, that's not what you said. You said we would call them this, not that it's incorrect. You said if they were women, we would call them women, which we do. You didn't say that we call them something incorrect. So are we changing our answer?
No. You're making it sound like I said women wouldn't exist in the phrase that describes them.
Nope. What you said was if they were women, we would call them women, which we do. It's the second word in the phrase trans woman.
We don't.
What is the word?
Trans women. We don't call them women.
Oh, so we do call them women. Are black women women? Are black women women?
Yes.
Why do we call them black women?
But black women aren't white.
Are tall women women?
Yes, but tall
why do we
women
call them
aren't
tall
short?
women? Do you know how adjectives work, Conrad?
Because they're tall. The adjective is tall. Yeah.
Yes, the
But listen,
adjective. Wait.
if you looked at a
Hold
tall
on,
woman-
Conrad. The
Yeah, okay.
adjective is trans, so we're not calling them cis women, but they're still women. The noun is still woman. Now, if you want to argue that the noun
is incorrect.
Well, then that's what you should argue. Instead, your terrible argument was, well, what do we call them? That's a bad argument. If you'd like to argue the noun is incorrect, then provide an argument for that. That's a different argument.
No, it's literally the exact same argument.
It's quite literally not. Saying that we call them X is not the same argument as the thing we call them is incorrect. Those are two completely different arguments.
Your defense to me saying trans women is not the same word as women is that, yes, it is, because it has the word women in it.
Trans is an adjective, so the word is still woman. That is the noun. The noun is still the same. Trans is just an adjective. Now, again, if your argument is just with what we call them, that's a bad argument. If you want to argue that we call them something wrong, then defend that point with some type of actual claim here, like give me an actual argument for that. But you're not. You're just making claims and then not backing them up.
Well, let's back them up then. Which direction would you like to go? Because both of those both of those represent my beliefs. So,
well, then you pick. Well, one of them is really bad. One of them is really bad, and it's essentially just an argument ad populum. Yeah, it's just an argument.
Well, let's not take the bad one actually, because it's semantics, and semantics are so boring. Let's
You
go
called
with
in to
the
argue
let's
about
go
a
with the other
word.
one.
That's inherently semantic. Sure, if you claim that trans women, your claim is that trans women are not women, and that when we say trans woman, we are incorrect in our noun
Yeah.
usage, then defend that.
Well, in order to do that, I have to ask you a question, and the question sucks because it's very popular. But I would have to know what a woman is,
It's
and
an
then
adult
once we
human whose
know
gender
that,
identity.
we can.
Well, I'll give you my definition
Oh,
of woman. I'll give you my
okay.
definition of woman, but I have a feeling you're just going to end up
Yeah.
you might not, but where this tends to go is
I
someone
don't
goes, well,
want
that's
to.
not what's in the dictionary, so therefore you're wrong, which would be a
Yeah,
really bad counter
I'm going to
argument.
do my best.
So hopefully you don't make
Deal.
that terrible counter argument. So I would define a
I'll do
woman
my
as
best.
an
Yes.
adult human whose gender identity aligns with their personal schema on the female sex.
So a person who behaves like a female.
Nope.
I'm reducing what you said just so I
That was
want
an
to say
incorrect
back
reduction.
to you.
But
All right.
if you want to try again, I will.
Say it again?
It's
Yeah,
an adult
I will.
human whose gender identity aligns with their personal schema on the female sex.
Aligns with their personal schema on the female sex. So that's someone
Yep.
behaves like a female.
Nope.
Someone whose gender identity aligns with female.
Nope. Doesn't align with female. No.
What's the last word? Sector? Is that what you're saying? Female sector?
Huh?
The very last word in your definition of a
I
woman?
will repeat the definition for a third time.
Okay.
An adult
Yes.
human whose gender
Got it.
identity aligns with their personal schema on the female sex.
Oh, sex. Okay. All right. Yeah. I've heard you say it 3 times, and the way I'm understanding it is it's someone who behaves like a female. So maybe you can help me out with what it
Yeah,
actually means.
if you'd like me to expand upon it, because there are
Please
just
do.
some
Yeah,
some words
'cause
in
I'm
there you
getting it
don't
wrong.
understand. Absolutely. So gender
Yeah,
identity
no worries.
as
Some people don't
defined
understand words.
gender identity as defined in neuroscience is someone's subjective perception of their own sex and how that sex is oriented in your body. So it's just essentially how your brain
Mhm.
views your sex. So what makes you a woman is that your gender identity, which is your subjective perception of your sex, aligns with, so it's compatible with, aligns with, it's congruent with the way your brain has essentially subconsciously categorized females throughout your life. And as long as those two things align, you are a woman. If they do not align,
So,
you would be something else. There's nothing in
so
there
it's someone
about
who
behaving.
believes.
There's nothing in there about behaving, behavior, any of that. It's just that these two
Yeah.
things align together.
Someone who believes they're a woman. Someone who believes they're
No.
a woman.
No.
Yeah. Someone who believes they're female.
No.
That's what a woman is. Someone who believes they're
Incorrect.
female. Yeah.
No. Incorrect.
Come on, man. That's what you just said.
Your inability to pick up, your inability to use the words I'm using coherently is not my issue at this point, because I've explained it very, very concisely. If I have to break it
and
down
I'm saying
further,
it back to
I
you
will.
even more
You've
concisely.
set it back incorrect multiple times now.
Say like a normal thing, like a normal person. Say it just the way
A normal
I'm doing
person
it.
should know
Someone
what the word
who-
aligns means. A normal person should know what the word subjective means. A normal person should know what the word categorize means. I don't see why.
I know what all those words mean. I'm
then you
putting it
shouldn't
all
have an
together,
issue.
and it
Then you
sounds like
shouldn't have an
someone
issue
who
here.
believes they are a female.
Incorrect.
How is that not it?
Incorrect.
You can't just say whatever you want. It's your show. But I'm not incorrect. I'm
You are.
spot on. Your definition of what a woman is
Incorrect.
someone whose gender identity aligns with, in the case of a woman, the female sex.
Not aligns with the sex. No.
The behaviors of the female sex. I don't have it
Not with
written
the
down.
behaviors
Sorry.
of the female sex either. No.
I don't have your exact, Jesus Christ. I don't have your exact verbiage in front of me. I didn't write it down.
This is why this might be why you keep misconstruing it, is because you don't know the verbiage, even though I've said it 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm not going to repeat it a fourth time now.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I mean, if I repeated a fourth time, you would owe me a waste of my time tax, because that's a waste of my time. I've said it 3 times now.
How do you think I'm getting it wrong? Just tell me through it, because I'm clearly not understanding. And if I'm not, a lot of people aren't, because I have a bachelor's in English, and I'm not joking about that.
You having a master's of English means quite literally nothing in this conversation. And it has nothing to do with whether it has nothing to do with whether or not you can. It means quite literally nothing about your ability to comprehend a definition that's based around neuropsychology. Nothing to do with that. So again, I'll repeat it for the fourth time. I'll repeat it for the fourth time. I will waive your tax, but if I have to repeat it a fifth time, you will be charged a waste my time tax.
I am trying.
So again, doesn't seem like it. So again, a woman would be an adult human whose gender identity aligns.
Gender identity.
So the alignment doesn't mean they have to act in any specific way. It's just about an alignment.
Okay.
Which I would assume you would know.
Superficial alignment.
I'm sorry. What do you think? What do you think the word align means? If I say something aligns with something, what does that mean?
Is doing the same thing as, is parallel to, is of the same core.
Or what else?
If I'm aligned with some preference of mine, if I'm aligned with other people who like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, then I also like peanut butter. I'm a peanut butter and jelly sandwich enjoyer.
Do you have to be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at the exact moment? Do you have to behave in some specific way like you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Or is it just that internally I know that like my internal preferences are that peanut butter and jelly is okay? You could never eat another peanut butter and jelly again in your life, right? And you could still align with people who like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, correct?
I could, yes. I could have an experience of eating a PB&J and move forward, telling people that I like PB&Js.
There we go. I'm so glad. But I'm so glad that we got to that. I don't know why it took 10 minutes.
But I'm not a PB&J man. A PB&J man will have a PB&J
that might have been the second dumbest response
I've heard you've ever heard.
This 14-minute phone call.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have brought it to PB&Js.
Probably not.
So, okay. So, where would you like to take it from here?
Well, it's about your misunderstanding right now, so you would have to be the person to clarify where you're misunderstanding.
Yeah,
because now that we know align does not mean behave, right? Align does not necessarily mean behave like.
Yeah, tell me what it is.
Well, align can simply just mean be in harmony with.
Yeah, it can. It can also mean the things that I said. So, okay, is in harmony with. All right. So
it could also just mean matches, fits, consistent with.
Yeah,
I'd probably say consistent.
I completely agree.
Consistent with is the best use of that.
So between you and me, we've come up with about 8 synonyms, all with aligned together. Well done to both of us, mine and yours. Okay, so someone who's aligned, go on.
With their personal schema on the female sex.
Their personal schema. I'm not used to that. What is that one?
Schema is I've already explained this. Schema is a psychological term. It just describes the way the brain categorizes information. We have schemas on literally everything. There's quite literally nothing in the human experience that we do not have a schema surrounding. And those schemas will be different for every person.
We have female brains and we have male brains.
Incorrect.
According to you. We have. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not what schema means at all. This is kind of embarrassing.
Oh, geez. You don't even know what you mean. You're just, it's this this weird.
Okay. Here we go. Let me say it again. Let me say it again for the millionth time. A schema is a psychological cognitive framework on how our brains categorize and recall information. Would you like me to say it a third time?
Okay. And what would that mean?
A schema is a psychological cognitive framework for how our brains categorize, store, and recall information. Let me say it a fifth time. A schema is a psychological cognitive framework for how our brains categorize, store, and recall information. Now, you're muted right now, Conrad. And the reason why is because, as I said earlier, this was going to be a disingenuous conversation from you. And knowing the fact that I've told you what a schema is, even before this, like twice, and you responded with, so we have male brains and female brains, proves to me that you've not been listening and you are being willfully obtuse. So you have one more chance here. You are on a very thin leash. You have one more chance. The only thing I'd like to hear back from you is a repetition of what I told you a schema is. That's all I want to hear. You will be unmuted. You'll hear a beep. I just want to hear you tell me what a schema is now that I've told you like 4 or 5 times. There's the beep.
I apologize for talking over you.
Let's hear it. Let's hear you repeat to me what a schema is now that I've told you about 4 or 5 times.
I can't do it the way you did it. My brain doesn't work that way.
Can you do it at all? Can you give me the way a schema, can you describe it in any way that's actually synonymous with the definition I gave you? Because as an English major, or a master's, as someone with a master's in English who apparently is really good with understanding words, it seems interesting that you couldn't understand the words that I used when I placed them in that sentence.
I hear what you're asking. I can't do it the way you want me to do it. I can't. I'm not used to the word. I don't use it frequently. It's not often said to me. It's probably been years since I've heard someone use it.
Then you might need to go learn psychology a little better before you argue against a psychological thing.
Well, you say psychological thing.
I first year psychology students would say psychological thing. It's not just me.
Okay.
Psychology, like, it's pretty well-known fact in psychology that people can be gender incongruent.
Yeah.
It's a well-known fact in psychology that we have schemas. They teach you this like day one, Psych 101, you learn what a schema is.
So how is it not a belief?
What is a belief? Define belief.
A belief. Define belief. No, we both know what belief is. I'm just going to have to go with it.
We don't both know what belief is. I don't think that you and I would use belief in the same way. Hence why I asked you to define it. Something an English person with an English master's should be able to do fairly quickly.
We need to be able to communicate, and in order to do that, we cannot stop at every single word and define it.
We haven't.
Communication does not work that way.
Hold on.
Yes,
we actually haven't done that. We've done that because you've not understood the words I've said. There's a difference here. I'm not saying
true.
this. Yeah,
I have not understood them the way you understand them.
No, you've not understood them at all.
No, the issue you're having is that I am not using the definitions that you use. Not that I don't understand them. I have an understanding of them. So your understandings of them are not mine.
Again, I think you used the phrase belief without a fundamental core understanding of how you yourself are using it. I'm not asking you what the like dictionary definition is of it. I'm asking you how you are using the phrase when you say the sentence, because I think we're talking past each other. So I'm asking how you are using the phrase when you use it in the sentence.
I'll say
that's
belief
how base debates work.
I'll say belief is faith in something, whether it exists or not.
Belief is what? Faith in something, whether it exists or not? Yeah, I would say you're using an incorrect version of the word belief to talk about psychological phenomenon. What? It has nothing to do with faith. This conversation has nothing to do with faith. So when you go, so this is just based around your belief of something.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't. And that shows me you have a fun... What are you talking about?
You need to have faith that a chair exists if you're going to sit in it. Otherwise, you're not. If you don't believe that it's then you're never going to sit in it.
This has become an incoherent argument.
No. Come on. Just give me a little faith here.
No.
In order
it's incoherent.
in order to operate in the world, in order to grab a cup of coffee, or in order for you to be talking with me, you need to have faith that these things exist. You just do. Otherwise, you're going to be like, I can't do anything.
This has turned into nonsense because you don't have an actual rebuttal to the argument.
You're struggling. No,
none of this matters
argument.
to the argument. None of this matters to the argument. None of it.
It does.
None of it. No, it doesn't.
No, I'm nailing it right now,
doesn't.
and you're having a hard time. You don't like it. No, I've absolutely
quite literally
nailed
has
it.
nothing to do with the argument.
Go on.
Go on what? You're not connecting your thing to the argument.
I have. You don't like it, and that's fine. I think it's going over you a little bit.
No, I don't think you. No, you don't, because you're sitting here going, "Well, these people have to have faith in something, whether it's real or not." But that's not what the claim is being made, right? We're not even trans.
I believe I'm a male. I believe.
Okay. Do I need to hang? Do I need to mute you again? Okay, we'll mute you again, Conrad. So again, this isn't what the claim that's being made, right? When a trans woman, it's not saying sitting up here going like, "Well, I have faith that I'm a woman." No. They're saying that the category of woman best describes their relationship with their sex and gender. That's not a faith claim. It's not any of that. So I guess it's been fun, Conrad, but you've proven that you are incapable of having a genuine conversation, because as soon as we started talking about something that was a bit outside of your understanding, you took it to, well, it's about faith. I have to have faith that chairs exist to sit on a chair. No, you don't, actually. So goodbye, Conrad. Enjoy the fiery pits of disingenuum from which you came. Shout out to Katie Ironfist. Said, I hate Conrad's condescending attitude. Boot when you want. Can't take someone seriously who doesn't understand the difference between what you are and what you believe. No, it's a bit. The fucking litmus test never fails, dude. Never fails, bro. I don't believe he has a master's degree. Maybe in The Sims. Now, I will say, no, I said masters, I thought. I will say, beliefs can be a part of schemas, but a schema is not a belief. Transleona said, I don't believe Conrad reads. Yo, same. Guys, 219-327-8005. Call lines are open. We're waiting for your call. MAGA, Christians, conservatives, capitalists, pick up the phone. TERFs. Where the TERFs at, dude? Yeah, I'm gonna need to take some fucking migraine pills soon. Phil bros annoy the shit out of me, dude. I need a comprehensive definition for the word Phil bro. How should I define Phil bro? Does it make you feel better to call people names? Yeah. Yes. There's your answer. Yes. Makes me feel better to call stupid people stupid. Yep. 100% of the time. I think a good way to combat this whole that whole faith bullshit is like your gender identity is about the way you experience, I guess, yourself. It's like your self experience. So like if somebody were to be like, well, I'm right-handed, right? And so in being right-handed, that's just a part of the way I experience myself, much like gender, right? I don't have to have faith that I'm right-handed. I just am. The faith thing was really stupid. Saying you need to have faith that a chair is a chair in order to sit. Yeah. Yeah, that was really stupid. Would you be able to use similar arguments for anyone claiming it's a gender ideology? What do you mean, Katie? What do you mean? In saying that it is an internal sense of self, not an outward faith in something. Like that gender's an well, I mean, it is an identity claim, so it's an internal sense of self. I think I'm not understanding. Call in, Katie. Call in, and I think I'm not understanding what you're saying. Are most Pokemon phylogenetically monogendered? I've been wondering. I don't fucking know, dude. My face could be a chair for certain people is crazy. True, though. True that. We got some people calling in. They're going to be screened. I think there's some Pokemon where it makes more sense if there's just one of those Pokemon in existence. And then there's some Pokemon that I think should just be regular animals. Like most normal type Pokemon are just animals. Like Pidgey is just a bird. And when Pidgey evolves, it just becomes a larger bird. So I think some Pokemon are just animals, you know? Pidgey can't be a bird because birds aren't real. True. I love that God in Pokemon is a normal type. Dead ass. How crazy is it that the Pokemon God is a normal type Pokemon? Not only that, but he's just a fucking deer. What if God was Arceus? I do wish Pokemon had more male-female variations. But I get it. Not every animal is like that, so it makes sense. All right, we got a call. All right, coming up to stream is Randy. Randy is calling from New York to talk about topic number 5, gender affirming care for minors. Randy, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hello, hello. My age is 33. My name is Randy. I am a man. I go by he.
Great, great. Now, Randy, if I'm seeing here correctly, you are calling in again about gender affirming care for minors. You believe that gender affirming care is being pushed on children. Is that correct?
Yes, to a certain degree.
Okay, how so?
For example, I grew up watching. I mean, I didn't watch it, but the euphoria of my time was Degrassi, right? You remember? Do they have any trans in there?
Were there trans people
Shoving
on
it down our
Degrassi?
throat? Shoving it down my throat?
Degrassi had a trans character, yes.
Well, I didn't watch Degrassi. That was kind of a bad. But okay, Euphoria. It's one of the main characters. This little trans kid who does paintings. So it's like all trans people need to be artistic and whatever, and all this like and flagrant. Why can't a trans kid go be a MMA kickboxer or something? You know what I mean?
Oh,
stop putting them into these pre-designated cookie cutter molds.
Randy, is your issue that trans people exist? Is your issue that trans people are not allowed to play
No, of
sports?
course not.
I agree with you, Randy. Trans women should be allowed to kickbox. We should let trans women compete in kickboxing. I agree with you.
Hell yeah. Kick a bitch in the nuts. That, let them feel that phantom pain,
Randy, are you sundowning? That's a yes.
Yeah. I didn't take my medication yet. That's what you're asking.
Okay. Maybe we should do that before we call into a call-in show.
I'll take your advice for next time. Definitely noted. But I'm all right. I got my fruit. I got my cats. So so gender things, right? I'm walking around, looking at these like 6-7-year-olds or whatever. How they're super young.
Why are you walking around looking at 6-7-year-olds?
No. Okay, let me rephrase that. So in my travelings in life, I see a lot of messed up stuff right, involving gender affirming care and younger children, which
Such as
confuses
what?
them, you know?
Can you be
Huh?
specific? Being vague doesn't really help anything here. Can you be specific?
Well, I mean, so it's a Zionist agenda, what it all boils down to,
Ain't no way.
right?
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
In
Ain't no way.
more ways than one, but one of those checks on the bottom.
Okay. Are you done? Are you done, Randy?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I am done. I am done. All right. So for example, you were just talking.
Who did I piss off in my previous life? That was the sad Naruto music that plays whenever a sad memory happens on Naruto. Anyway. Dude, what the fuck? Maybe clip it. Anyway, I need clippers. I need people to just make Jovan clip accounts. Don't actually do that, because somebody did do that and they were making bank off of my, well, I don't know if they were making bank, but they were making money off my clips for sure. Then again, maybe do that. But if you are gonna do it, look, I won't stop you if you're gonna do it. If you're gonna become a clipper, I won't stop you. But at the very minimum, at the very least, link to my account, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's take up the next call. Coming in next is Charles. Charles from California to talk about topic number 6, abortion. Charles, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
29, he, him.
Okay, 29 and he, him. Now, Charles, if I'm reading this correct, you believe abortion is murder. Is that correct?
Yes.
What makes it murder?
What makes it murder?
Yeah.
The unjustified taking of a life, I guess.
What makes it
Kill
unjustified?
somebody. Unjustified?
Yeah, what makes it unjustified?
They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't do anything
They didn't
wrong.
commit a crime.
So it can only be murder. Wait, I'm sorry. It can it's only murder if someone doesn't commit a crime. I can kill criminals and that's not murder.
No, we have justified killings like the death penalty. Like there is. You
Do
can make
I
an argument
just
for
if somebody is a
justified,
threat to
killing.
my property, am I justified in taking their life? Not legally. I'm just asking you. Like, someone's a threat to my property. If someone's threatening to like burn down my house, and I have a gun, am I justified in shooting them so they don't burn down my house?
If that's just like a threat to property, no, because property rights don't necessarily like.
We're not
There's
talking
no
about legal. I'm
necessarily.
not talking about legal rights, though. Just asking morally,
No,
am
no,
I
no.
justified in
I
protect?
get your.
So what do I have to do? Just let them burn down my house?
No, no, you wouldn't like just let them burn down your house. But I'm not saying that you would then there be justified in taking their life. It's property.
Well, I'm asking you. Here's a situation where somebody is about to light my house on fire. I have a gun.
Right.
If I shoot them and kill them, was that justified?
I don't see that being necessarily justified.
So then what do I do in this situation?
I don't know. I'm not making the claim that you should do anything.
So then they should just burn down my house because I've done nothing.
Yeah, you could just let them burn down your house. You could shoot them, but whether the argument of it being justified or not, I don't think morally you have you're not morally inclined to defend your property.
I would disagree.
If it comes with taking like, okay, why would you disagree?
I think if somebody is going to put me at such an adverse risk of like losing my home, my livelihood, my shelter, and all that, yes, I'm absolutely justified in ending their life. If ending their life is the means to stop that, then yes.
Okay. What if, and purely hypothetical, what if you could get another house?
What if you could get another house? So it's about your ability to replace said property.
Would you have the ability? Like hypothetically, like it's the unlimited amount of money.
Who knows?
Like it doesn't necessarily matter if you're indigent or not, or you.
Who knows?
But you would be justified in shooting that person that wanted to burn down your house, right?
Let me just ask you a question. Do you own your body?
Yeah.
Like, is your body your own property?
Is my body my own property?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not property. Like, I wouldn't think of it as like a thing to own. You know, like we don't own other people.
I'm not talking about other people. Do you own yourself? Do you have control over your body?
To an extent, I guess, but it's incredibly
to what extent?
Vague.
If someone's a threat to my life, if someone's a threat to my life, if I'm at risk of harm because of them, am I now justified in harming them?
So if someone's at risk to your life, like if someone wants to harm you specifically, then you can make the case, morally speaking, that you could end their life in order to protect your own.
Okay, so if somebody is a threat to my life, then I am justified in ending their life.
Right, but then you'd have to quantify threat.
Who gets to decide? Who gets to decide that?
Who gets to decide what level of threat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you came at me with a napkin, right, and you were like, I'm going to kill you with this napkin, I would see that as a very low-level threat, and I don't think I would necessarily be justified in killing you because you
What
came
if
at
I
me
was
with
coming
napkin.
at you with what if I was going to, let's say you're a woman in an alley, and I'm going to split you open from vagina to anus. I'm going to take a knife, and I'm going to just tear between your vagina and your anus. And you killed me. Would that be justified if you killed me before I did that?
Yeah.
Then all abortion is justified.
Why all abortion?
Because pregnancy can lead to you having a vaginal tear from your vagina to your anus. And you just said it's justified to take someone's life if they're going to do that to you. So then all abortion is justified.
Yeah, but so the idea of it being murder has to be contingent on another party being involved that has intent to kill. That's murder, intent to do harm. So if you have the intent,
no, you're not, wait, no.
It does not equivocate. No, if you have the intent to stab someone from butthole to vagina or vagina to butthole, you have the intent to do bodily harm to them. then therefore,
So if
with that
if
intent
somebody
to
comes at you in an
bodily harm
alley and they're going to do that, but they're sleepwalking, now you just have to let them do it, right? You can't take their life to end that from happening.
I don't think I'd be justified in taking their life. I don't think so at all.
So you
like, morally
so
speaking, I don't
if they
think
were
I'd
going to
be
do that
justified
and
in
you
taking
took their life, you should go to jail for that.
I mean, yeah, I just killed somebody or that had no bodily, no conscious control of their body to do something.
Nonsense.
So I don't necessarily, they in that case, it
So
wouldn't
you should
necessarily
let
be
yourself
like,
get a vaginus. Let's say somebody's sleepwalking and they're about to kill you. You should just let them kill you.
right.
Because you wouldn't be justified in
Well,
killing
in
them
the type-
first.
Well, hold on. In this hypothetical situation, it's the only option, and I'm guessing the prerequisite is this is the only option.
The only option to protect yourself is to kill them, yes.
Right. So the only option to protect myself from bodily harm from someone else that has no intent to do any bodily harm to me, they have no intent to do so. Like, how do we?
But
when
they are
murder
going to. They might not
Right,
have
but
intent to do it, but they are going to do it.
How do you know they're going to do it?
They have a gun pointed at you
If
and
they don't
they're
have
about to
intent to
pull
do
the
it.
trigger.
They're unconscious. They might not pull the trigger.
They're going to pull it's baked into the hypothetical that they're going to pull the trigger. If you want to
So
change
it's
the
baked into the
hypothetical so that way
hypothetical.
you can get out of it, then fine, but it's baked into the
No,
hypothetical
I'm just trying to get,
that they are going to kill you.
Jovan, I'm just trying to get the specifics of the hypothetical.
Yes, here's the hypothetical. Somebody is sleepwalking. They are going to kill you while they are in this state. You have no way out of this unless you kill them first. Is it justified if you kill them?
Right. No.
Then you should just die then.
In the hypothetical, yeah, I guess I would just die.
What the
because there's no
fuck, bro?
justification for me to kill. Like,
come on.
Well, no,
dude.
like, be honest real quick with me.
I am being honest. I'm pulling the damn trigger.
Okay. Why? What kind of moral oughts do I have, right, as a person when it comes to protecting the autonomy of other people around me? If I want to go in on a murder spree, right, and I want to go around and I want to kill as many people as I possibly can, what oughts do those people have to protect themselves? What do people have in order to have any recourse towards me if I'm going to go around and start killing people?
What?
Why should they protect themselves?
Why should a person protect themselves from being killed? That's the question you're asking me right now?
Yeah. Why should people? I want you to explain this. Why should people protect themselves?
I don't know that I would say they should.
I
would say they can.
There's no ought. They can, right?
Hence why it would be justified, because I believe they would be justified in the actions that they take. It is morally permissible to end another person's life if that person's life is a threat to your life.
Well, hold on. Just because you can do something, does that mean you should?
That's what justified means. So it doesn't matter whether you should or should not. The question is it justified? Morally permissible means justified.
Right.
So when you're telling me, when I'm telling you it's,
just because
yes, it is justified.
Because I can defend myself from the unconscious person.
But we're not, no, whoa.
Right.
Two different things. I'm not asking you if you are going to. I'm saying, would you be justified if you did? Which you said no. Which means in your hypothetical, the only solution would be you dying. I'm sorry, in my hypothetical, the only solution would be you dying.
Yes.
Because it would not be morally permissible for you to protect yourself here.
No, because if the intent in the hypothetical is not present, if there's no intent present, then it's at that point, like, I don't see it being justified in order to kill the man.
If Donald Trump was sleepwalking and he was about to press the nuke button and kill billions of people, you'd be like, well, it wouldn't be morally permissible to like cap him to stop him from doing that. If that was like the only method of stopping him from doing it.
No, you can do it. Yeah, I'm not arguing that you can't. I'm just saying,
I said it wouldn't. You saying it would be morally permissible. I don't know why I keep saying justified or unjustified. I know they have the ability to do
Yeah, but
it.
just as,
Would they be we're talking about moral justification here. We're not talking about whether you have the ability to or not. We're talking about, is it justified? So when I say you can or
yeah, but we
can't, it's built around you can because it's morally permissible, or you can't because it's morally permissible.
right, but why ought I in this hypothetical situation, right?
I don't
So
know
the
why you keep
moral
going to
justification of
oughts.
it, because you can't have oughts without moral claims.
What?
What you ought to do
That
has to have some
was the
basis.
most Charles, that was the most I don't understand philosophy thing I've ever heard. Morally permissible has nothing to
Okay,
do with whether you ought do something. It just means if you do it, it's a permitted action, not that you are
but
compelled
if
to
it,
or ought do.
but if you're prescribing someone to do something, right? You're making the ought claim that they ought to do a thing,
I'm
whatever
not
that
making
thing
any
may
ought
be.
claims.
Okay, then, like, why?
Even in abortion, I'm not making an ought claim.
Well, then what's okay? So abortion. What was your prompt for number 6? It was abortion of
That
basically till 9 months.
abortion would be justified throughout all 9 months of the pregnancy. Not that you ought do it, that it's justified if you do.
So the justification for that being what exactly?
There's multiple, but the main one would be that it is your body, and if you do not consent to something using your body's resources, you can remove that thing. You have no obligation to this creature inside of you if you no longer consent to it using your body or your resources.
Okay, couldn't I make the same argument for children? Like, ought parents take care of their children,
Yeah, because I think that you
or
do
just
have,
because?
I think there is a level of obligation to sentient beings. Non-sentient beings have no moral obligation to them. Sentient beings have some level of obligation, and that level would just be to get it care. So if you don't want to care for it, you don't have to. You just have to give it up to the state, and they'll care for it.
What if the state doesn't want to care for it?
Well, then we're in a different world, and I would say that the parameters would change slightly because we're in a different world.
Okay, what if we? Right.
If
Not
the
in this
state
world.
went
So,
away, I would say you probably have an obligation to care for it until it's to the point that it can care for itself because it is sentient,
so if we
because the state has
so if
gone
we
away.
didn't have the state that we have, right? In your hypothetical, didn't have the state we have. There's no state. We have nothing. The only thing that's going to take care of a child up until the point that it can take care of itself, right, would be the parent. And so then you would prescribe to people, to the masses, that you ought to take care of the child up until a certain point.
You or if you can find it another caregiver. But yes, if there were no state, then yes, I would say it would not be morally permissible to just let your child die if there's no state, because it's sentient, and I believe we all have some level of obligation to sentient beings.
We all
But
have
I would,
certain.
but I
We
would,
all
I
have
wouldn't. But
some
this is the
level of
difference. This is
obligation.
the difference.
Okay.
I wouldn't say just the parents have that obligation to keep the child alive. I would say anyone in the community has an obligation to keep that child alive, not just the parents.
Well, okay, but what? Okay, so what about so incentives?
What about what?
Incentivize. Incentives.
What?
Most things are run off of incentives. You don't do things without incentives. Usually it can be
What is? This
self-prescribed
has nothing to do with
incentives.
whether or not something is morally permissible or justified.
No. I'm just staying on with the hypothetical. I'm not trying to backpedal or anything. The incentive for the parent is that they are the parental figure. They are the one that has reared the child, brought it into the world through term, gave birth to the child, and now they're rearing, teaching, whatever, taking care of the child. The incentive for that
I wouldn't call
is
it an incentive.
for basically the incentive for that is longevity through legacy, right? You got to be able to continue the human
Gross.
race, and we have paternal instincts for a reason,
Gross.
right?
Gross.
Your parents, well, yeah.
Gross.
Why is that gross?
I don't think there should be no incentives for caring for a child. You should care for the child because the child is the child is a sentient human being. That's it.
That's an incentive. But that is an incentive because they're of your race. They're a human being.
An incentive.
Just because they're a human being.
Incentive like entails that you're receiving something out of this. What are you receiving out of caring for them when they're not? Like, what are you talking about?
No, an incentive is just any reason to do something. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has any. You can be incentive to do things that don't have any benefit towards you, unless you have some perceived benefit that you believe is beneficial towards you. But an incentive could be a myriad of things. So if you're incentivized to take care of other sentient beings, humans, for example, and the parent is
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine
with that. I'm fine with that definition of incentive. I just don't see what it has to do with like the overall argument, I guess.
Okay, because if the case is that you're not making an ought claim that people should get abortions, you're not making the claim that people should get abortions, but they're justified in doing so up until 9 months, up until literally right before the baby pokes its head out, you can be like, oh, push the button, bye-bye. If that is the case, the incentive, what is the incentive? Other than the fact that you're saying that there's bodily autonomy, right? And we don't necessarily need to care for things that are not sentient, and you don't necessarily think that fetuses are sentient, or that unborn children are sentient, and I can, for the sake of argument, I can grant that. For as far as we can tell, there's limited sentience, right? They don't have sentience. There's only a certain point up until they feel pain, which is their acknowledgement of the environment around them. Like if you poke them with a stick and they go like they acknowledge the environment, which means that they can probably feel pain, which means they're responded to stimuli, which is, in our definition of sentience, one of the things that you need to have in order to be sentient, right?
No.
Okay, what did I say there that was incorrect, please?
Sentience is just the subjective ability to experience. You don't not necessarily responding to stimuli doesn't necessarily make you sentient. Like, right, bacteria responds to stimuli. They're not sentient. They aren't having an experience.
I know, but I said one. I said one of. I didn't. That's not the only. That's not the only qualifier.
Sure.
One I could think of.
Sure.
You wouldn't call something that's not sentient, like you said, bacteria, like just because it responds to stimuli. Yeah, it's not sentient. Yeah, that's a given. But that's about all it can do is respond to stimuli.
Uh-huh. I still don't see what this has to do with the...
For incentives and moral oughts, right, for ought claims, you have to have some sort of incentive to do something, right? And that incentive can be anything. From my understanding of the abortion argument is that people are incentivized to do something. But just because they're incentivized to do something does not necessarily mean that they're justified in doing that thing. Just so much as people are incentivized to carry the baby to term, you could make the argument that they don't have to, right? They're not, they don't, people don't have to always carry it, which shouldn't be illegal, or shouldn't be illegal. Everyone who is pregnant would need to carry their baby to term. That's the end of it. And you would be like, no, they should be able to abort up until 9 months. Well, why should they? Oh, well, because they have this thing called bodily autonomy. Okay, well, then quantify a bodily autonomy. Oh, well, okay, I can quantify that you yourself are your own property, and do you have, rights and protections against your own property? Okay, great. At that point, though, why should I not be incentivized to tell you that's wrong? You can't do that. You can't take away that person. You can't take away that right. We both have the same.
Homie, can you justify that it's wrong though? I don't care that you're incentivized to tell someone that it's wrong. What does that have to do with anything? Can you provide a concrete moral justification for why a pregnant person is obligated to keep a fetus alive for 9 months?
Because from what I said when I did the screening is abortion is murder,
That's just kicking the can
and I
down
don't
the
think
road.
you can. It's not. Okay,
It
why
is.
is that? Why is that kicking the can down
Because
the
if
road?
I ask you why a parent is obligated to keep the fetus alive, and you go, well, because if they don't, it's murder. That's a circle. Obviously, murder would just entail that they're killing the fetus, which is what I'm asking why they're obligated to keep it alive. You didn't give a reason. You just sort of restated the claim. So I'm going
Because
to ask,
murder. Okay, okay. The reason
like,
is murder
why
is bad.
No. I don't care about why you think it's murder. I'm asking specifically, why should the person who is pregnant be obligated in keeping that fetus alive for all 9 months? Not that you have to, just a quick aside, you don't have to kill it past 24 weeks. An abortion would just entail taking it out. But why should the person be obligated to keep it alive?
Why should a person be obligated to keep it alive? Okay, so the ought claim for me, saying that I think that people ought to keep their children alive, is because of, like, it's what we're supposed to do, and that's a shitty fucking point. But it's
Yeah,
because of God.
that's a
because
okay. Well, yeah. So okay, so your reason for abortion being wrong and why a parent ought be obligated to care for that is baked into some religious belief. So then you'd have to prove that religious belief is true. If you're saying this is an ought claim that we all ought to do, you can't force that on somebody from a belief system without proof of that.
I could try to do it from a humanist perspective.
You can try, but
Like
sentience is sentience is baked into humanism, my friend.
Yeah, I know.
So you can give it a try. You would need to come up with a justification that's secular.
Yeah. And I would only and for the most part, the justification I have for the longevity of humans is to procreate and have more humans, and there's an incentive to do so from God, and in order
the only
to
time
take
the
life
procreation
of
argument is going to work, the only time we need to continue the species would be if we were in a birth deficit, which we're not. As a species, we're not in a birth deficit. We're still birthing way more people than are dying. So,
but that doesn't mean that I ought to stop, or that
no,
we shouldn't stop. I get the point.
But you can't say the reason is the continuation of the species when the species is continuing and growing.
Well, just because the continuation is okay. So if everybody stopped, and the argument is, well, it's growing, and then everyone just stops right now, like it's like you can't make the argument that just because they're doing it doesn't mean that I.
No, I would say what I would say is that, like, if we were in a birth deficit, you would have a better argument for, like, continuation of the species. I still don't think the argument is sound or justified. It would just be a better argument, for a better way to frame that.
Well, yeah, no, it would be substantiated. Yes, it could be better in the sense, but that still doesn't make it like it's not. It doesn't just mean that it's like it's a bad argument. It's still a valid point. Like anybody could always make the argument that the continuation of the human race.
I'll never say it's not a valid argument. Right? When I say an argument is bad, I would mean that it's not sound. I think the argument is still not sound.
Well, it still holds. It just not might be the best thing.
When I say an argument is valid, that means it holds. When I say it's sound, that means it's logical.
Okay, so it's an illogical argument.
Yeah, I would say it's an illogical argument, definitely. Because the problem is that argument leads to the argument of, okay, now that we're dying as a species, we can force women to give birth. How far do you take that back? What if all the women decide they don't want to have sex and get pregnant anymore? Because if the argument is for the continuation of the species and that the continuation of the species outweighs the personal preference of the person, then that argument just leads to end of species rape becoming not only a thing, but like, okay.
Yeah, but that's a humanist argument, though. You could argue that from a humanist perspective, or from humanism, that if we get to the point where it's down and people are dying quicker than they're being born, then for the betterment of the human race,
one of the biggest tenets of humanism is human dignity. There's no dignity in forcing someone to give birth or forcing someone to have sex. That's like one of the key tenets of humanism.
Yeah, because it needs consent.
Mm-hmm.
For dignity, you would need consent.
And one of the biggest things in humanism is to reduce suffering. Forcibly raping a bunch of people wouldn't reduce suffering; it would just increase it. It would actually reduce the suffering to let the species die. Would reduce the suffering.
Can you quantify suffering?
Can I No, you can't quantify suffering. This would be a value judgment.
Okay, so then what does suffering mean? Then how can it's a value judgment. So then how from a humanist perspective or from any perspective that's secular, could you say, oh well, this is for the betterment of people? This
would also play in for fucking religious beliefs too. It's all value judgments. That's what morals are. Morals inherently are value judgments.
Not from the non-secular standpoint.
Yes, they are. It's just the value is God's value. It's what God finds morally value. It's still a value judgment. It's just not it's not a judgment on your value. We just give the value up to another species or another being.
The onus isn't on us.
Doesn't matter.
Right,
It's still a value judgment. Just because it's not all our values doesn't make it not a value judgment.
It's a value judgment from God, who is a moral arbiter of all things.
Well, you claim he's a moral arbiter without proof.
Or you claim that.
So yeah, I could make the claim that what if I just make the claim, yeah, I'm God, I'm the moral arbiter. I have as much proof for that as you have proof that your God is the moral arbiter. And we're right back to square one.
But then why? Okay, but that's kind of my point. It's like why listen? Why listen? Why? What's the point?
Why listen to what? Other people's moral views?
If all their morals are subjective, right, and you can't prove it any more than I can prove it. All morals are
subjective, yeah. Because we attempt to find the best moral or ethical framework that leads to the most good.
Okay, what do you think is the most good? Outside of in a secular worldview, what is the most good?
That's a very vague question. Be specific. In what context? Abortion, I think the most good is making it so that people have the right to what goes on with their body. I think it's not good when we let a bunch of women be forced to be pregnancy fucking factories. And they have to go through with pregnancy. I think it leads to harm. And I don't like harm.
Do people just get pregnant? Like, do you just get pregnant? Like,
what does the method of pregnancy what does the method of becoming pregnant have to do with anything?
Because that's how you get pregnant. Like, it's not just like, oh, well,
what does the method have to do with whether or not you should...
that'd be forcing people to have sex.
No, you are forcing them to remain pregnant. Like I said, I never said you're forcing them to get pregnant. Well, some people are forced to get pregnant, but I said you'd be legally forcing if we said abortion is no longer justified, it's illegal to have an abortion. You are forcing people to remain pregnant who don't want to be pregnant. They're forced to. They have no recourse here. They get pregnant, they're forced to be pregnant.
So in order to enforce this would be through what? Violence? Because you don't necessarily have to, like how would you force people to stay pregnant?
By not giving them a recourse to end their pregnancy.
okay, so we're making a moral. There's some legal things, and then there's some moral things, right? And so, like, legally, forcing people to get pregnant is not the same as like morally. Like I like morally have some objection to it. That doesn't necessarily mean I still think it's wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean that legally I'm going to force people to stay like pregnant. Like most laws that we have are
if you just
secular.
believe abortion is morally wrong and you don't think there should be laws against it, that's fine. But it's very rare I meet somebody who's pro-life and goes, well, we should keep abortion legal.
That's what I get for like that's how my vote works. Like I'm going to vote a representative in that was going to go with my moral
Charles,
framework.
I don't know why.
And if I want them,
Charles, I don't know why you're doing this. Do you believe that abortion should be legal or should be illegal?
I would like for it. Okay, I believe that it should be legal. I'll grant that.
Okay, then we're fine. I don't care if you morally object to it, as long as you don't. I mean, granted, I think you're voting in favor of it, which I think is gross, but
then that's the thing. You'll outvote me if you like that's the point. Like morally, I have the objection, and I'm going to vote with my morals. But you also have your morals, and you're going to vote with your morals. And so, if it's legal, then the consensus of the people, their moral system, their moral framework, if both of ours are subjective, and I can't prove mine more than you can prove yours, then you would have the right morals, and then morally I would then therefore be wrong.
Brother, this is becoming incoherent, friend. Like it's becoming incoherent, my guy.
I apologize.
Do me a favor, sit with this for a little bit and decide which realm you want to take this the next time you call. If you want to take it in a moral direction or legal direction. Okay?
I came in morally. That's where I was at, but I will sit with it. Thank you.
Okay. What the fuck? Oof. All right, we're gonna cut it here. Real quick, actually. Tony, Illinois. Tony. I have the correct Phantom Menace take. I don't know what you're calling about right now.
No. I don't care about Phantom Menace.
Then what?
I was wondering how much of that extends outward. If it's just Padme and Anakin's relationship, or if anyone who had a relationship similar to that would also be morally incorrect by your take, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it would be weird if you meet someone who's 9 years old and you're of the age of developing sexual feelings, and then you get into a relationship with that person later on in life. Yeah, I just think that's weird. It's not the length of their, it's not like the age range that's weird to me there. right? Because 9 to 14 is not that, like, that's not a large age range. It's about the one person meeting at an age of sexual maturity and the other not being at the age of sexual maturity. It's not about the gap.
Okay, but like they don't. I guess well, because again, we're not arguing like Star Wars anymore. We'd be arguing like a theoretical. So it would be that they don't actually get into the relationship. They're both adults, right? It's just the idea that they knew each other when they were that ages is what makes it a line for you. I'm just trying to.
It's that she
understand.
is post an age where she is now at an age of development where she's developing sexually and he is not.
Okay.
That's weird to me to meet at
Okay.
that difference. And then when you get older, shebang bang. Especially knowing
so I do-
at her age what she knew what his feelings for her were, right? When he was a child, I'd have been like, nah, squash,
Right.
stay away
Right.
from me. That's weird.
Okay. I'm actually curious because there is a situation that was kind of debated in my family, and this is, I guess, tangentially related. But my uncle remarried. He has a daughter. And, well, okay, so my uncle has a son. The lady he remarried has a daughter. They were both adults. Everyone in this situation adults. For economic reasons, the two children moved in together, and then they found out that they were compatible and they got married. So they are stepbrother and sister through marriage and only knew each other as adults. Some of the family actually protested this because they said it was immoral. And we're kind of sitting there like, what the fuck? They're adults. Who cares?
I wouldn't call that immoral. I would be like, that's a little odd, but I wouldn't say that's immoral in any way.
Yeah, we were like, it's a little odd.
They're not actually related.
Like, yeah.
Like,
no,
because on the
other.
flip side, no one finds it weird when a couple gets together and then their parents meet and their parents fuck. No one finds that weird.
No, of course not.
Now, if it was a Brady Bunch situation, if they were like underage and met each other at an underage age and were like living together, and that I would be like, that's weird, that's strange. But like, whatever. Their parents, there's no blood relation here. I don't care about that.
Oh, sure. Because the whole thing is, from my aspect, that's the thing that matters is like the closeness, and if they grew up in like a household together, whether or not they like knew each other, as friends or in passing or whatever, as long as it's all on the level and they're adults. But like, I'm curious also, just one more thing. I don't know, because this was a wild conversation. I don't know if you follow Street Fighter at all, but do you know about the character Alex that they released?
No.
Capcom retconned a relationship between one of the characters and his wife to have been that they grew up together and that they were cousins.
I don't like that. But like, isn't that like?
No. Nobody liked it. Capcom actually had to like re-retcon it, and everyone's like, "No, we understood what you did. You can't make this go away." But
yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Kind of, there a lot of discourse. No one is. But there was like discourse of like, what was the worst aspect of it? That they're like second cousins. That they were like that they grew up together. That like he held her in her arms as a baby. And like that's the worst part, right? That like he was like 10 years old and is holding his future wife as a baby. Like that is, I think we can both agree that's the worst part of that whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same reason why I think 7 Deadly Sins is fucked up.
Yeah. No, I know. It's everyone had a good laugh about it, and now that character is tainted forever. It's like, don't bring Alex back. He's the guy from Florida who married his cousin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
No.
All right, then. Sounds good.
I guess so. It's all above board if they're adults, and Fandom Menace fucking sucks.
True. All right, thanks for calling.
Okie dokie.
All right, that's it for the call-in portion of our show. Do I play a horror game? Are there any out that I even want to play? And that aren't long. I'm like, do we got any like hour-long ones? You know, I don't really want to play like a... They put out a Jason. They put Jason in Dead by Daylight. So Dead by Daylight now has Jason in it, huh? Randy is still here. Didn't we already learn Randy is unmedicated right now? Just ignore him. He's unmedicated. I played Iron Lung. It's way better than the movie. It's not sure, but have you seen Routine? No. Is it any good? Let me take a look. Routine. Not a big fan of this. This is giving Alien Isolation vibes. This looks like it's going to be too long for me to want to get in with today. Let me look at the reviews and see. 8 hours? No, 8-hour games that's too long for me right now. I'm looking for like a very good, like just short horror experience, you know? Have you played Para Eye? No. Let me see, what is this? Oh my god, it's another Anomaly game. Oh man, we do love our Anomaly games over here. 18 hours on record, 11 hours on record, 9 hours, 26 hours on record. Crazy. If y'all got an IO game, also look at IO games. Balatro, no. Firewatch is not horror. I was looking at something scary. Because eventually these headache meds are going to kick in and I'll get my energy back. Or I go take a nap, you know? God, so many. Well, I probably wouldn't nap. I would go and get some writing work done. We're already deep into work on the next 2 video essays. Three hours of calls weren't horrific enough for you? We only had like 3 calls. I want to play the new Fierce to Fathom, but I need the homies for that because it's a multiplayer. Try the Morticians. Do you mean Mortuary Assistant? Mortician's Assistant sounds like a cheap knockoff of Mortuary Assistant. If you mean Mortuary Assistant, then you're not up to date on Jovan lore. Let me tell you that. No, I'm not a human is not quick at all. What are you talking about? Nah, Morticians. I've never heard of Mortician's Assistant before. Has Jovan played Voices of the Void? Jovan's still trying to figure out how the fuck Voices of the Void works. I still don't know how that game works. It's Mortuary. Oh yeah, then you're just not caught up on the lore, homie. Here. I love doing this. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things to do. Ready? Ready? K-Space hates that I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's fucking funny. Okay, ready? All right, I'm on speedrun.com, okay? Type in the Mortuary Assistant. Okay? What the fuck just happened? Oh, it didn't type in. Okay, you go to the Mortuary Assistant, okay? Here we are. Mortuary Assistant. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're gonna go to all endings. See, all endings. Wow. You're gonna go to, is it in all endings or is it in legacy? It's in like legacy. Hold on, sorry. You gotta go to all endings legacy because they updated the game, so it's not there anymore. You're gonna go to all endings legacy, okay? And who's that? Who's that right there at the top? Who's that right there at number 1 in the back before the game updated? It's some of my favorite lore. It's my biggest gaming claim to fame. Is there's one game I had the world record on for a while. I've been told to play Visage, and I realized that when I did play it the first time, oh my god, my head hurts. When I played Visage the first time, I went down, I guess, the most boring path in the game, and it just so happened to also be the longest, and I was told all the other paths are so much better. But you interested in Roblox horror games? I would fuck with a Roblox horror game. Are there any good solo Backrooms games that are as good as Escape the Backrooms? What about Still Wakes the Deep? Played it. There's actually a playthrough on my second channel. Full playthrough of that game. I played the Faith games. No. 99 Nights in the Forest? That just sounds not scary. Yes, Randy is the one that I dropped when he said the trans people were a Zionist psyop, yes. Play Para Eyes. I don't want to do a... Or... should we do the next Ban Ban? I do got to do the next Ban Ban at some point. You should check out They Left Us Here. Is that on Steam? Let's see. It's not the vibe I like. That's not saying it's bad. It could be great. Let's see how long it took people to complete. Oh, it has like no reviews. Oh, here it is. Never mind. 1.6 hours. One of the most atmosphere. Okay. It's got good reviews. Drop those horror recommendations. Play Ban Ban 3. Ugh, you guys hate me. You guys hate me. You like any chill? I love Chilla's Arts. When's the last time they dropped a new game, actually? I love the Chilla's Arts game so much. I think I've played most of them. I played Closing Shift. Let's see. What's their most recent? Oh, I didn't play this. Umagiri. I didn't play this one. Is it long? About 4 hours. I don't want to commit to a 4-hour game right now, but I can put it on the list. Do you like Undertale? Love it. This is for like Friday game days. Because remember, on Fridays, I'm going to be playing game games. Play Tempest Triad Demo. It's a Dino Hunter game. This looks like that game with the spider that scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Fierce to Fathom co-op game, but I gotta play with the homies. Which, by the way, I gotta tell Tomo happy birthday. Played Limbo, played it. The Forest, played it. And its sequel. Is this scary? I might not have, my head might still hurt too much to play something. Now Randy's saying he's going to start a live. Go ahead, Randy. Go start your live. We can't wait to watch. Ugh. Hurry up, Randy. Get out of here. Go start your live. Honestly, I want a horror game as good as Fears to Fathom, bro. Ugh. You know why I might be feeling like this? I also haven't had lunch, so I haven't eaten since like 8 a.m. You know what? That's probably why I feel this way. I'm thinking that's probably why I'm starting to feel like shit, is I haven't eaten since 8 a.m. So my body is... Bro, go eat? Oh, eventually. Who wants to buy me lunch? I'm just kidding. You need food? True. Can you turn the sound alerts back on now that you're not debating? Oh, no, I actually have to like figure out how to do that. Because remember, I don't use OBS anymore. So things have become a bit more, oh, I'm sorry? Things have become a bit different, so I have to figure that out. Not figure out, I just have to like implement it. What am I using? It's a program called vMix. For what I do, it's a bit better for me than OBS. Dude, do you think Randy might be dissociating a little bit? Do you think he might be in the middle of a psychosis? I had a real weird, oh, well, vMix is not a great alternative because it costs money. It's like you have to like pay a subscription for it. And it does eat at your computer's resources a bit more. We are Charlie Kirk. What do I want to eat? I want a very specific type of pizza that I have to drive to the store to get. Remember when Randy said, yeah, I remember there was no, I had penne alla vodka for lunch yesterday. He was like, there were no trans people on Degrassi. I'm like, yeah, there were. And he was like, oh, well, I didn't watch Degrassi. What type of dumbass, bro. I think I want like a itch.io, like what's some good horror games on itch right now? Late night ice cream. Itch is where it's at, bro. I love PS1 style horror games. Oh, I can play that one game I got that fucking I haven't played it yet. IRL stream with Jovan getting food. Honestly, if I had an IRL stream setup, I would use it all the time. I downloaded this meme game. Meme games are also cool. What was it called? Where is it? Garden of Banban's Chapter 8 is called fucking what? Oh, Poppies. I have not played Poppy's Playtime past like Chapter 3, I think. I was playing Thief Simulator 2. I was fucking with that. Oh, Cookie Clicker is still running. Oh, shit. Love Cookie Clicker. I want to say this has been a really hard Pride month for me. With loved ones passed and because around in the country, it helps come here and hear the music probably correct. So much fun on the chat. Hey, no, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. Happy Pride. It was some like what was this? What was Fever Meme? That's what it was called. It was called Fever Meme. Let's fucking try it. Why not? YouTube, come to Twitch. Come to Twitch, YouTube, or shut the fuck up. Okay, bye, YouTube. Bye. Uh-oh. This game is not running well on vMix. That's the other thing. OBS is a lot better on running certain games. So let's try to do what I do, which is where I quickly end the... Ah! Stop. Stop! I could grab my croissant. Okay, I'm going to try to quickly end the vMix stream and quickly begin the OBS stream. Okay? Are you ready? 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 Stop. Start. All right, chat. I'm going to need to know if that worked.